I would say that you are doing a good job of prepping yourself for the future. When I got out and I was transitioning, I was looking at. I mean, I submitted to a lot of different companies. I didn't even know where I wanted to move yet, and I'm kind of also phrasing this in a way that it doesn't just apply to you. It applies to a lot of veterans, especially prime power guys getting out. You know, I was stationed in Fort Hood at the time, working under air defense for that little gathering that the prime power has with them. And
Mhm.
you know, I didn't even stay in Texas, but I didn't know where I wanted to move, so I had to properly plan for that. You know, giving yourself that additional time before you have to get out. Figure, reaching out ahead of time, tell them, look, I'm getting out in 6 months. Okay, so and I'm taking 30 days of leave too. So, tell those future employers that you're interviewing with, but until then, what can I do? Try to get a plan put together. And then once you find, like, I secured my future employer, I don't think almost 90 days before I even before I even moved, that I was already basically signed on with them. So, and then get the ball rolling beforehand, have a plan. I'll tell you what, it makes your transition 10 times easier if you have a structure developed. Like, you're like, I know what the end goal is. And so all you have to do now is just make the rest of the pieces fit in that end goal versus going blindly into it. Then, with a family and everything else behind you, it becomes very stressful. So transitioning's already a challenge as it is. You don't need to transition, possibly move, change employers, and change your entire life structure all at the same time, going through a dark tunnel. So, do be fruitful about it. Try to get as much as you can beforehand, and strengthen it out. Uh, the other thing I would say is you mentioned about going into your next company dark. I'll say no matter. I think Micah can definitely agree with this. It doesn't matter what you do. As soon as you get out of the military and you go into your next job, or if you go from one job to another job, the first 30 days, you're pretty much going in dark, and it's going to be a struggle regardless. You're learning new systems, new people, new time scales. You're learning how to do your time cards. All insurance programs are changing. Your entire life is going like this. So it's going to be a challenge. The best thing you can do mentally is tell yourself beforehand that it's going to be, what can I do now to alleviate that before I'm in that position? And the stuff that you're doing is flat out, it's along the right track. Like getting out there, spreading your name, showing people what you're worth. And that way, those interviews they just magically happen to get into your inbox, like it's stuff like that, man. And I highly recommend that everyone does it for themselves, not for prime power or the military and everything. Those are all great reasons to do it, but I mean, you got to take care of yourself first, and then take care of others. Otherwise, you can't take care of anyone. So that absolutely keep doing what you're doing, and I think it's a good thing.